Just one simple action within the first hour after waking up can significantly improve male sexual health after the age of 60. This small change has the power to restore a sense of vitality and strength that many believe they've lost forever. Contrary to common belief, the decline in performance and energy often experienced after middle age is not simply the result of aging. Scientific research and clinical observation reveal that the real issue lies in blood circulation, particularly in the microvessels that supply the pelvic region. A major study from Harvard University found that more than 70% of erectile dysfunction cases are not caused by low testosterone, but by poor blood flow to the corpora cavernosa, the key erectile tissue in the penis. These problems don't usually begin with major health events. They start subtly with everyday habits in the early hours of the day. Actions like skipping hydration, staying sedentary, or neglecting morning nourishment can gradually weaken blood vessels and dull the body's natural physiological reflexes. Years of medical practice in urology and geriatric health confirm that how the body is activated each morning plays a decisive role in maintaining long-term vitality. When the circulatory system is healthy and flexible, natural sexual function can continue well into older age. Microvessels in the pelvic area are essential for this process. Over time, these vessels may narrow, harden, and lose the ability to dilate properly, cutting off the blood flow required for arousal even when hormone levels remain sufficient. This condition, known as endothelial dysfunction, silently blocks the body's ability to respond during intimate moments, creating a gap between desire and physical performance. The male sexual organ operates like a sponge. It needs to be filled with blood in order to become firm. Without enough blood volume or pressure, it remains soft, regardless of emotional readiness or mental desire. This is not a sign of failure, it is a physical response to insufficient circulation. Fortunately, the process can be reversed. When the body is properly hydrated, gently moved, and signaled at the right time, blood flow begins to improve. The release of nitric oxide, a critical molecule that dilates blood vessels, is reactivated, and the blocked pathways begin to open again. The transformation begins with simple, consistent actions. These early signals, sent through hydration, movement, and nourishment, retrain the body's systems to function as they once did. With no need for medications or invasive procedures, many individuals have experienced the return of natural responsiveness and vitality within days of changing their morning routine. This internal awakening starts quietly but grows stronger with each passing day, setting the foundation for restored confidence and health. In the following section, the routine will be broken down into clear, actionable steps designed to support circulation, hormonal balance, and overall physiological function. These practices require no special equipment, no costly treatments, only commitment to a daily ritual that signals to the body it's time to perform and thrive again. Nitric oxide is one of the body's most powerful natural messengers. As a molecule, it plays a critical role in dilating blood vessels and restoring circulation to areas that may have been undersupplied for years. When the production of nitric oxide is activated properly, particularly in the morning, it sends an immediate signal for blood flow to return to key regions, including the pelvic area. This process is not theoretical. It has been observed repeatedly in clinical settings, where men who believed they had completely lost their physiological edge began to experience significant improvements after only a few days of changing their morning routine. These men did not rely on medication or external interventions. They didn't need supplements, hormones, or specialized therapies. What they did instead was shift how they treated the first hour of their day. And that shift, though simple, was powerful enough to restart natural biological signals that had been dormant for years. One of the most important realizations in this journey is letting go of the idea that age is the enemy. Aging is not the reason why blood flow slows or why energy disappears. The real reason lies in the small daily habits that seem harmless but slowly degrade the body's internal balance. To reverse this, the focus must turn to consistency in seemingly insignificant behaviors. What happens in the first few minutes of the morning determines how the body functions for the rest of the day. The early hours are not a passive time. They are a critical biological window. This is when hormone levels are meant to stabilize, when the circulatory system is most receptive to movement, and when the nervous system is primed to activate reflexes. Missing this opportunity sets the body back, delaying energy-dulling hormone response and weakening emotional and physiological connection. The most common mistake is treating morning as a rush or an afterthought. Many people wake up groggy, immediately grab their phones, scroll through messages or social media, skip breakfast, and then rely on a strong cup of coffee to push through. On the surface, this seems like a typical start to a busy day. But beneath that routine, biological damage is quietly unfolding. The body loses water overnight. Without hydration upon waking, the blood becomes thicker and more sluggish. Blood vessels constrict, especially in the extremities and pelvic region. Nitric oxide production is delayed or suppressed. The cells that govern physical reflexes do not receive the fuel they need to function. This condition is referred to in medical terms as the early physiological activation phase. If this window is missed or ignored, hormones drop, energy levels fade, and the sense of connection to the self and to others diminishes as the day goes on. One case stands out clearly. A 68-year-old man who had not experienced any spontaneous physiological reflexes for over 3 years reported a dramatic shift. He began drinking water first thing in the morning, added 3 minutes of gentle movement, and changed his breakfast to support circulation. After just 2 weeks, he described waking up and feeling like himself again. This transformation didn't come from external intervention. It came from a decision to respect the biological rhythm of the body. The solution is not to search for complicated therapies or expensive treatments. The true path to restoring vitality lies in the ordinary actions repeated each day. These simple patterns become the programming language of the body. They tell the nervous system what to prioritize. They tell the cardiovascular system where to direct blood. And over time, they retrain the entire physiological system to respond with clarity and strength. The next step is identifying exactly what to do each morning. The protocol is straightforward, designed specifically for men over 60, and has been tested across hundreds of cases. It does not require medical equipment or supplements. It requires consistency, attention, and just a few minutes each day. When the method was first introduced to older patients, many responded with doubt. Years of being told that their issues could only be solved through medication or specialized treatment had shaped their thinking. The idea that such a dramatic improvement could come from natural habits was difficult to accept. But as the process unfolded, the results spoke for themselves. The human body does not need to be forced into performance. It simply needs the right conditions. Timing is essential. The body is most sensitive and most receptive to change in the moments right after waking. That is when hormones reset, when blood flow patterns can be re-established, and when small signals lead to major physiological outcomes. The coming section outlines 3 morning actions that create this foundation. They are simple, science-backed, and deeply effective. These steps form the blueprint for restoring circulation, reviving reflexes, and building sustainable hormonal balance from within. When practiced consistently, they lead to meaningful changes, not only in physical health, but also in confidence, clarity, and quality of life. Each habit becomes a declaration that the body is still capable, still alive, and still ready to thrive. The most responsive and biologically sensitive moment of the day is the first hour after waking. This window holds the key to resetting vital functions, particularly blood circulation and hormone balance. It is during this time that the body is most ready to receive signals that can either reinforce health or contribute to silent decline. A simple yet powerful routine, practiced consistently during this period, can create remarkable changes even in men who have long accepted the decline of their sexual health as inevitable. There are 3 foundational steps. They are easy to implement, require no equipment, and take only a few minutes. The results, however, go far beyond what most expect. The first step is hydration. Begin the day with 2 full glasses of plain room temperature water. No ice, no sugar, no flavoring, just water. After hours of sleep, the body enters a mildly dehydrated state. Blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, and internal systems struggle to restart without proper fluid intake. Rehydrating the body right away helps to thin the blood jumpstart circulation and support the production of nitric oxide. This molecule is essential for dilating blood vessels and enabling blood to flow freely, especially to regions like the pelvic area that depend on strong microcirculation for healthy function. The second step is movement. Not intense workouts or strenuous activity, just 2 to 3 minutes of gentle mindful movement. Joint rotations, stretching, deep breathing, or simply walking around the home are enough to activate the sympathetic nervous system. This activation directs blood flow to critical zones, including the pelvic floor and genital region, where microvessels need to be stimulated. Light motion serves as a wake-up call to the circulatory system and encourages the body to engage with natural reflexes that may have been dormant. The third step is nutrition. Eating a breakfast that supports hormone balance and vascular health is essential. Skip refined carbohydrates, sugars, and saturated fats. Instead, choose foods rich in antioxidants and healthy fats. Boiled eggs, blueberries, wild strawberries, and unsweetened Greek yogurt provide high-quality nutrients without disrupting metabolic balance. Add nutrient-dense seeds like pumpkin seeds or walnuts to support testosterone production, reduce inflammation in the blood vessels, and increase nerve sensitivity in the pelvic region. This combination of foods sends a clear, nourishing signal to the body that recovery and strength are priorities. These three actions, when done consistently, create a compounding effect. Within just 5 to 7 days, many individuals begin to notice deeper sleep, improved mental clarity, and a renewed sense of physical presence. The changes may be subtle at first, but they grow stronger each day. The eyes regain sharpness. The body starts to move with more ease. The mind begins to feel clear and steady. Most importantly, the sense of inner strength, the quiet confidence that comes from feeling in control, again begins to return. What begins as recovery quickly transforms into reprogramming. The body learns to operate in a more stable and harmonious state. Blood flow, hormone production, and emotional balance align. Natural functions that once felt lost begin to re-emerge not through force, but through repeated encouragement from within. Beyond the basics, there is an additional step that can amplify these effects even further. A natural supporting ingredient, when added to this routine, has been shown to strengthen the biological signals sent in the morning. This enhancement builds upon the foundation and helps the body progress with even greater efficiency. That addition will be explored in the next section. The transformation that begins in the morning is not just theoretical. It is visible, measurable, and deeply human. One memory stands out. A former high school principal named Richard, aged 66, once sat silently during a consultation. His expression was heavy, his words sparse. After a long pause, he admitted that he felt like he had done everything right in life except for holding on to his manhood. That sense of loss wasn't just physical. It was a loss of identity, of connection, of a part of himself that once brought energy and pride. He was given the same morning routine. No drastic changes, no medications, just the 3 steps practiced daily. 1 week later, a message arrived in the inbox. It read, "I woke up this morning and felt like I'm coming back." The significance of that message cannot be measured unless one has known the silence and disappointment of long-term decline. It marked the return not only of function, but of hope, dignity, and self-recognition. This experience is not unique. It is the reflection of what the human body can do when given the right support at the right time. Within a matter of days, the biological signals grow clearer. The systems begin to align. The restoration begins not through magic, but through method. The next section will reveal how to deepen this transformation and maintain it for the long term through natural science-backed support. For a man, a morning erection is not merely a biological reflex. It is a sign of life. It is the body's way of confirming that blood is flowing properly, that hormones are functioning, and that the core systems responsible for vitality and connection are still intact. This silent signal each morning speaks volumes. It is evidence that the body remains capable of responding, connecting, and living fully. Years of working with aging men has revealed a consistent truth. Lasting improvement does not arrive suddenly or dramatically. It begins with subtle shifts. Fatigue that once dominated the afternoon gradually lifts. Sleep deepens, interruptions fade, and rest becomes restorative. Most notably, confidence begins to return. Not as a loud declaration, but as a quiet certainty. A sense that strength is not lost, only dormant. This shift requires no medication, no invasive treatments. It only demands a change in the biological signals the body receives each morning. By focusing on the right inputs, hydration, movement, and nourishing food, the body begins to reset itself. Nitric oxide levels increase blood flow, improves hormonal pressure, reduces and sexual function, gradually restores itself from within. To sustain these results, it is essential to understand a deeper truth. This is not a quick fix or a temporary hack. It is a language, a signal that is sent repeatedly, consistently every day. The body responds to patterns. When it receives the same healthy signals over and over, it learns to function differently. These signals become a rhythm that reprograms every core system. Vitality is not restored through force. It returns through steady communication with the body's biology. Realignment occurs naturally when the right messages are delivered at the right time. Those messages do not need to be complicated. They are simple, repeatable acts that build trust between the mind and body. This is not about chasing a youthful version of the past. It is about building a stable, mature version of health that supports energy, clarity, and confidence. The desperation that many men feel when energy fades or performance declines is understandable. It is easy to be drawn in by advertisements for enhancement pills or fast solutions. But true recovery does not come from urgency. It comes from daily repetition of the right signals. Each glass of water in the morning says the body is being cared for. Each moment of gentle movement communicates readiness. Each breakfast that nourishes rather than depletes sends a message of strength. Together, these habits declare that the body is still worthy of attention, still capable of thriving, still alive. Age does not break the body. Silence does. When the body stops receiving the signals it needs, systems begin to shut down. But with consistent care and intention, they can be brought back online. Circulation improves, hormonal rhythms return, nerve sensitivity increases, and a more complete, balanced form of masculinity begins to emerge, not one based on appearance, but on internal harmony and strength. These changes are not always dramatic, but they are unmistakable. A mind that stays sharp throughout the day. A sleep cycle that restores rather than drains. A deepening sense of control and calm. These are the quiet victories that signal true healing. When lifestyle shifts in the right direction, the benefits reach far beyond physical health. Sexual health improves, yes, but so do relationships, emotional balance, and overall quality of life. The way a man shows up for his partner, his family, and himself transforms with each intentional choice. Even the smallest improvements are signs that the body is listening and beginning to respond. Progress does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Each morning offers a new opportunity to reinforce these habits. Over time, they accumulate. They anchor a new biological state in which energy, confidence, and connection are not exceptions but the norm. The root of decline is not aging. It is disruption of biological flow. The solution lies not in medicine, but in communication, sending clear, supportive messages to the body through small daily actions. With 2 glasses of water, a few minutes of movement, and a purposeful breakfast, the foundation of natural sexual function can be rebuilt safely, sustainably, and powerfully from within. With just 2 glasses of water, a few minutes of light movement, and a breakfast designed to nourish instead of deplete, the foundation for male sexual health can be rebuilt from the inside out. These 3 simple actions do more than support testosterone production or nitric oxide release. They serve as the building blocks for restoring a biological system that has quietly shifted out of rhythm. The restoration is not artificial. It is natural. It is safe. It is sustainable. This process is not about quick fixes or dramatic overhauls. It is about consistency, a daily rhythm that re-establishes the body's internal dialogue and encourages the return of balance where it matters most. Every drop of water replenishes the system. Every gentle stretch reawakens dormant signals. Every nutrient-dense bite fuels a deeper healing process. The body has not shut down. It has not given up. It has not lost its ability to respond. It has simply gone quiet after years of receiving the wrong signals or no signals at all. But the moment those messages change, even in the smallest ways, the body listens. It adjusts. It begins to repair. Restoration does not begin with a pill. It begins with a pattern. The repetition of healthy actions sends the message that the system is still wanted, still valued, still alive. Biological function is not determined solely by age, but by flow of blood flow of energy, flow of intention. When that flow is supported, systems recalibrate. They begin to remember what strength feels like. Recovery does not require perfection. It requires presence. The decision to show up each morning with a few small commitments is enough to shift the trajectory. Over time, those habits layer together, transforming not just physical health, but the entire experience of being alive in a body that is aging yet still capable. Every morning is an opportunity. Every movement is a message. Every breakfast is a choice to support vitality or suppress it. These moments, repeated daily, are what determine whether strength fades or returns. The body has never walked away. It has only been waiting for clarity, for consistency, for care. Once it receives the signal, it begins the work of recovery without hesitation. From the smallest capillaries to the core hormonal systems, everything starts to move again quietly, steadily in the right direction. With time, a new foundation is laid. A foundation of balance, circulation, energy, and resilience. This is how vitality is rebuilt, not from outside interventions, but from within. Through daily actions that signal to the body it is still needed, still capable, still strong. This is the beginning of not just a return to function, but a new chapter of strength, clarity, and connection.